Here we see from the blue corner Jonas Magard take on from the red corner Daryl Golding in what is a highly touted matchup.
Yeah, two very, very bright prospects here. I've seen Daryl Golding fight multiple times. He's been through the trenches, had some real wars, and this could just be another one of those prospective wars at pro this time round.
Daryl, known for his undefeated at pro record, all wins by TKO as he's on his back here, working off his back, perhaps trying to utilise the cage there to skip away, use his hips and nice elbows there.
Daryl is very, very confident off his back from what I've seen in the past from him. He likes to implement the strike from the bottom, and now he's turned pro, he can implement the elbows as well.
Beautiful hip movement there by Daryl Golding. Very exciting and fast-paced fighter. Jonas, very athletic also though, uses a lot of level changes and fakes when he's on the feet. As we see the work here from the guard, trying to work those punches over the top. I'd like to see him posture up, perhaps escape this position, Harry.
Yeah, because I mean, if you posture up, you rain a few strikes down to the face of Daryl Golding, help him progress his positioning. On the ground is definitely where he wanted to fight, because he came out and went for the shoot immediately, and what a beautiful shoot it was. Daryl Golding again, using those elbows tremendously, really keeping the head of Jonas right down as the crowd is erupting behind us.
As I shout Daryl's name here, he's working for submissions. Looked like he was working for a triangle there. He's able to switch his techniques up very well and adapts quickly to the situation, as we're seeing here in front of us. Nice elbows there by Daryl.
See, Daryl on his back, he's very, very comfortable, and Jonas has no complaints about being on top. Could possibly try and shut down a few of those elbows now, try and posture back a little bit and think about his next move, because all he's taking damage.
Jonas also burying his head down like that. He can't see where his opponent is. He can't see where he's punching or elbowing. He really needs to get his eyes in this fight.
Yeah, he needs to guide those strikes, because at the minute it's just wild throws from being blind, really.
There we go, as he postures up beautifully. Look for him to pass. Big shots down the middle there. Ends up in side control. Daryl doing a great job there of trying to retain guard, getting his legs in between his counterpart.
Really shutting down any path of the guard that Jonas is attempting.
Nice punches there from Daryl, showing the judges that he's still active even off his back here, Harry.
Very much indeed. I mean, Jonas may be in guard here, but he's in trouble. He's not in his most favourable position. He really needs to take centre stage this now. Sit back, control himself, control his posture, not burn his energy out too much, and watch where these strikes are landing, because Daryl's been very, very active with those elbows, and it's only going to culminate in more damage.
So a nice body shot to head shot there from Jonas. Needs to see more of that. Like you said, Harry, he really needs to see what he's doing. He needs to start implementing this ground and pound if that's where he chooses to be.
Because I mean, there's no attempt to pass guard or anything here from him. He feels like he's more than comfortable sitting in guard, but Daryl's activity level on the bottom, it's putting it to shame.
Daryl working these punches in bunches from the ground, from his back, with his legs open. Like you said, Harry, it doesn't seem like Jonas wants to pass. He's quite happy to content to lay there, but he's taking that damage. Tries to dish out some of his own. Yeah, I mean,
Daryl's even going for grapevining at this point, just trying to get something moving. Because I mean, he's happy being on his back now, but he's trying to switch things up a little bit. Just saw his leg come up then, maybe go for a triangle or something.
It's beautiful to watch Daryl there from his back. He's just able to nullify the strikes from somebody on top. That's really good jiu-jitsu for MMA there.
Fantastic. I mean, his posture and his base on his back is fantastic. Jonas's base in guard, he seems very, very casual and very, very relaxed and composed whilst he's taking these shots. I mean, he may be in guard, but it's a high level activity fight this. They're really, really working, the pair of them.
Some punches there from Jonas as the crowd erupts.
That was a very, very mixed first round there. I'm not sure who you'd give it to. The level of activity there from both guys was very, very high.
Like you said, Harry, it comes down to the judges. What do they see? Do they see the guy on the bottom, even though he's striking and he's controlling that position, do they see him at a lesser amount on the scorecards? Does it go in Jonas's favour? You never know. That's why they always say, never leave it to the judges.
Yeah, I mean, a negative to Daryl's positioning there was the fact that he was on his back. He wasn't attempting submissions or anything. It was just elbows and punches to the head. Maybe if he'd have tried a few more submission attempts or tried to switch his hips out a little bit more, things might be different on the scorecards. I don't know.
As we come out for round 2, Daryl Golding versus Jonas Magard. They have been going at it on the floor. Nice double leg there from Jonas, beautiful technique.
This definitely isn't where Daryl is as confident and as comfortable as he is on his back. He's not going to want it here now, not in the second round. The first round, okay. Second round, he's going to want it back on the feet. He's very, very comfortable on the feet. He's got some vicious striking, but the minute he comes in, Jonas just keeps shutting him down and using his momentum against him and taking him down just very, very easily.
Jonas needs to watch these guillotines. That could perhaps be a tactic on Jonas's part, trying to almost lay on top of Daryl and limit the amount of judges' decisions or points, however you want to see it, and indeed damage from the fight. This could be a game plan here.
It very much could be. He seemed very, very confident just to sit there and just lie on top of him because he's in control. He looks in control. Daryl is just having to try and throw as many strikes just to get the benefit of the doubt, if more than anything. He wants to get back on the feet. He's got his heels on his hips. Daryl wants to push him off, getting back into guard, push him off with his heels, and try and get back to his feet if he can. But as we can see, Jonas is very, very strong.
Jonas is making the conscious effort now to try and pass to get a better submission. Position before submission, we say.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder whether this was his game plan or to dominate on the floor, advance to a position and look for the submission or the TKO.
Daryl pounding, rolling and pounding.
I mean, Daryl could be a lot better up against the cage now. Now he's here. There's a better chance for him to work.
Jonas controlling here from the turtle position. Daryl really needs to think about trying to stand up here whilst protecting from the guillotines and the knees that can be put through.
Try to grab a leg.
Oh, yep. Nice single leg attempt there. Beautiful, yes.
And just like that, the table returns.
Nice work there by Daryl Golding as the arena erupts behind him.
Fucking pounding!
Daryl using that forearm pressure there to pin Jonas up against this cage. Look at him to posture up and do some damage. Jonas looking for the angle for an armbar there, perhaps.
Indeed, now Daryl needs to posture back just a little bit. He's out. Lovely knee to the stomach there. Now he's got his head. Does he try and go? Oh, he's gone for a dash choke.
He's walking around that side trying to cinch up. Can he get the pressure that he needs?
Needs some more torque to that.
No.
Oh, he gets out.
In these later rounds, the sweat can play dividends in those type of positions as Jonas slips out.
Jones is back to where he wants to be now.
Big elbows there from Jonas. One would seem it was evident that this is Jonas's game plan, to lay on top and do damage and control the fight. Daryl's got to be thinking, I need to sweep or submit and get out from this bottom position.
Definitely Jonas's game plan here, not to go 15 minutes it seems, but to drag him through 50 minutes of hell. This is not an easy fight whatsoever, and it's a very, very, very strong opponent for Daryl Golding. Oh, elbow to the top of the head.
Time out there for Perhaps the downward elbows not allowed from the 12 to 6 motion there, Harry. In these unified rules, just getting a warning there. Often that can happen when the opponent's moving around.
Yeah.
You know, you catch them at a different angle, you're in the mix of the fight. It's not intentional, but it can happen.
Yeah. Not intentional whatsoever, just the way of the fight.
Daryl!
Daryl's staring down there. I wonder if he's going to come out and try and take this fight to the floor and end up on top. He's been on the bottom, we've seen him, he's been active on the bottom, let's say that.
Yeah.
But he hasn't put any threat towards Jonas. Jonas has laid there and almost been comfortable in that position.
I think Daryl now needs to watch how much he charges forward. He wants to be more active for the strikes. He needs to be more active with his strikes on the feet and not rushing with his momentum as much. Because Jonas is using his momentum against him perfectly, and he keeps ending up in this position.
Jonas timing that takedown, took Daryl down, ends up on the top position again, putting in the body shots, pinning Daryl up against the cage. Looking to pass now, stuffing the knee there.
Daryl's guard is absolutely excellent.
Really active is Daryl, nullifying that damage. Looking for the straight armbar, perhaps slips out again. Again, the sweat playing dividends in this fight.
See, he's got his left heel on his foot. He needs to try and push that into him a little bit. Try and create some space to break off.
No question about it, Daryl is really active off his back. But we have to go back to what the judges are seeing, how they score in this.
Exactly, how do they see that? How beneficial his players?
Elbows are fucking perfect. Elbows.
Big ground and pound from Jonas, just skilling itself to stay in this guard position and not get swept or submitted. Brilliant display there. The crowd erupts in applause, knowing these two fighters, even though the majority of the fight's been on the ground, they know that they're working here.
The work rate in this fight has been fascinating. Both guys have, even on the bottom, when there's been switches where both guys have been on the bottom, both guys have been on top, the work rate has been phenomenal. Nobody's been stopping. And you can see it in both guys now as we look to each side of the cage. Both guys are showing signs of fatigue. Hopefully, in the corner of Daryl Golden, hopefully they'll be thinking that the fatigue is wearing down on Jonas now. And now he won't shoot as much, and his shoots won't have as much power. And they'll be hoping now that Daryl can have that time and that range to execute his striking a lot more.
The question will be in this third round, did Daryl take the advice of his corner to mix up the shots and keep his distance to stop Jonas getting so close that he can put that beautiful double leg in that he's been doing thus far in this fight?
I mean, the way Jonas changes levels, to me it says he's still looking for that takedown.
Doing a great job there, like you said, Harry, change the level and come up with a strike. Beautiful display of MMA skills from Jonas.
I mean, Jonas is that familiar now with the takedown. What a lovely shoot that was.
Takes him down at will, Harry.
I was hoping we'd see a little bit more of his stand-up game to see if he'd used the mind games of pretending to shoot.
Daryl working for this triangle. He just needs to reach up and grab his shin like he is there. This is locked in. If he can pass the left arm of Jonas across,
he needs to drag that
he could have it.
He could drag that left arm across. He's breaking down. He could go for an armbar here. He could have switched it for an armbar.
Beautiful punches there in this triangle position. He needs to really threaten Jonas. I don't know if the ref is going to stop this. Oh my goodness! Ground and pound stoppage from the triangle position, and the crowd goes wild.
Absolute manic display from Golden's fans. The man from Wigan has done it.
Daryl Golden just able to secure that triangle position.
Yes, it's Daddy's little boy.
ball and try and fight it. Unbelievable.